Welcome to the Motocross Supercross podcast. Podcast.
3, 2, 1, 0.
Motocross Supercross podcast.
What is up, everybody? This is episode 191 of the Motocross Supercross podcast. We are just trucking through these things. Today we are talking to Martín Castelo. I'm Adam, here with Claudio. What's up, Claudio?
Dude, Martín Castelo. Let's see what he has to say.
That's right. Switching brands, switching teams mid-season after having some great results and even sixth place in that Mudfest in San Diego. So very curious to see what he's up to. All right, let's jump into it. Where are you at? You got a Georgia number?
Yeah, I have a Georgia number. I stayed there for a few years at MTF.
Okay.
When I first moved here, and so never really changed to a 951 number.
Okay, that's cool. I like that. That's pretty cool. Where originally are you from?
Yeah, Ecuador.
Oh, wow. Very cool. So do you also speak Spanish then?
Yeah, of course he speaks Spanish, Adam. What kind of question is that, man? He's pretty good friends with, I believe, with Lorenzo and Anthony, correct?
Yeah, I'm good friends with them. I met them when we were all kids, actually, at Latin American Championships. And
That's right.
And then we trained together when we all trained there for a few years. So we all became good friends and know them for a while now.
That's pretty cool that we, the Spanish, are staying together, you know?
I was only saying that because I watched like all the racetrack Supercross and I've seen like videos and I've never seen Martín speak Spanish. I think that's why I went there. But your English is good, really good.
Appreciate it. Yeah, everyone says that at first, but then they're like, "Oh, you do have an accent." I know I do have an accent, but yeah, a bunch of people say that. It's just my few sentences are good, and then you'll be disappointed.
So let's start. When did you come to the United States?
So basically, my dream was always to come to California and be a professional supercross racer. And I would tell all my friends at school when I was a kid and stuff. So I ended up getting the chance to come to Minios in 2011, I think. After winning an 85cc Latin American Championship down in South America. So I ended up doing that, and then after that, I just begged my parents to let me come for a 1-week camp at MTF. So my mom said if I had straight A's, I could come do the 1-week camp. I had really good grades. So I came and I fell in love with the place, and I begged them to let me stay for a year. So I did that, and it was just kind of like it was supposed to be just kind of like a fun year before I went to college. So that was the plan. I ended up doing that, but I actually put in some good results in the B class, and I got to do a fill-in ride for Orange Brigade KTM for Loretta Lynn's, and I ended up getting second on my last B class moto, 250B moto, and I got fifth overall. So after that, I just ended up staying one more year, and then one more year after that, and then it just escalated like that.
Here we are.
That's great. Yeah, that's a really cool story. How old are you?
I'm 23 now.
23. So whenever he's a kid, he says, "Yeah, this is what I want to do," and now he's doing it. That's pretty cool.
So, like, how did this, like, the whole, like, IB Corps thing come about? Like, how are you linked to the team and, the whole, like, racetrack Supercross idea? That's pretty cool.
For sure. Okay, yeah, so basically in late 2015, I already had a deal to do Supercross in 2016. And that ended up folding at the end of the month. So we still had a couple months before East Coast Supercross started. And then this guy had actually messaged my dad about doing like helmets for me and basically running his logo in my helmets and getting some money as a personal sponsor. So we were going to have a meeting, but then this team folded. So I wasn't sure what I was going to do. We ended up meeting. I told this guy, Jorge, that I really wanted to race Supercross and I had been getting ready for Supercross. But basically I was left with no ride. So we ended up talking, coming up with a budget to do East Coast Supercross as a privateer effort. And he was all about it. So that's basically how IB Corp started. It started as a personal sponsor of mine. We went racing. The bikes weren't were actually not done for the first round. So we didn't start till Detroit, which I think was round 4, I believe. So yeah, we ended up going racing there. I made the main, and then after that, I broke my humerus. So after that, he's like, well, like, I really want to do this, but what's gonna, like, we can't only have you. Like, what's gonna happen every time you get hurt? If you get hurt, hopefully not, but if you get hurt, like, does the whole operation just pause for a couple months and nothing happens? So that's when he started really looking into what it would take to have an actual Supercross team. Got linked up with Ryan Hughes, a couple people here on the West Coast. They dealt with that, and basically they moved the whole operation here to the West Coast, and I had to move here. And yeah, that was for 2017, which was actually the first actual year for the team, like as a legit team, I guess. And yeah, it went from there. On 2017, Brad, who is good friends with Jorge, who was the team owner, had this idea about filming basically something that's never been done, which was basically have a TV show linked to a team. He's actually Emmy award winning. Wait, is it Emmy? I think Emmy.
Yeah.
Some award winning thing from filming. So they have done documentaries for National Geographic, History Channel. So they had a pretty good background. So yeah, they decided to go that route. And as you guys know, in this sport, it's kind of hard to get outside money to come in. So that looked like actually a pretty good option to do that and try to find sponsors more so for that, you know, because if you're getting 13th and 14th, it's hard to get a dude to come in with a few $1 million to support a big operation like that. So basically that was the plan, and then that's how Racetrack Supercross started.
I really enjoyed watching, you know, it seemed like every week there was like so much drama, just like watching it, and just like it was really cool seeing the behind the scenes, and of course just like the competition style where you pick the third rider of the team. Like I really enjoyed all that stuff. It was like reality TV mixed with just like the most awesome sport ever.
The idea was fantastic.
Yeah, so it was kind of stressful to be part of it, you know, like, because that year I struggled with results, and then have that, like, cameras on you all the time, and you're not doing as good as you want to do, or like you want a second to talk to your trainer or talk to your mechanic or something, but there's always a camera there. So it was definitely fun, but it was also stressful.
Yeah, no, I feel that's one thing that actually I really liked about it, is just how like they were in those moments and stuff. Of course, for the riders, you probably hate it, and just that invasion of like privacy almost. But like as the spectator, I was just like, that's really cool that we got to see like all that stuff that we did.
It was like a Kardashian show.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, basically.
Hey, they're popular. That's for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, you mentioned that having those cameras in your face is like you struggled a lot last year, and this year definitely showed, because at the beginning you were the Twisted Development Racing team, correct? And you were putting really good results, like
it looks like you made every main, going like 13th at Anaheim 1, and then 16th, and then 15th, and then whenever we got to that San Diego Mudfest, you put in the almost a top 5 with that 6th place.
Yeah, that's what I meant. San Diego.
Yeah, so definitely. It was that was also kind of a last second thing. I actually met all the Suzuki guys racing at Mammoth last year. Because I really wanted to get an outdoor ride last year, and I only ended up getting to fill in for one race. So I basically was just trying to ride as much as I can. I didn't go home throughout the summer because I really wanted to get good and actually start riding Supercross as soon as the tracks open. So I did that. I went to Mammoth for the Amateur National. I ended up doing pretty well up there, and then that's where I met the Suzuki guys, and they put a program together with Twisted Development for me to do the first 5 outdoor rounds, Supercross rounds. Sorry, West Coast Supercross rounds. So we ended up doing that. We actually didn't get the bikes till like a couple weeks before the first round, so we didn't have very much time to test. But we had some ups and downs. I think a few rounds were good. Some other ones, like, we definitely had positives from every round. Just in a couple of the main events, I made really big mistakes that cost me a lot. Like, I was feeling great in Glendale. I got 5th in my heat race, and then I just made a mistake in the main event while running. I think I was still top 10. I was like 8th, and I stalled my bike, and I
yeah.
couldn't get it started. By the time I got it started, I was almost getting lapped already.
Mm.
So yeah, just some big mistakes like that. On the Triple Crown, I crashed pretty hard the first one. Just stuff like that, that can be fixed. But yeah, there's definitely a bunch of positives from this year. And then yeah, like you guys said, I struggled a bit in Atlanta with some bike issues, but we got it sorted for Seattle next weekend.
Did you get your "I survived the Lime" sticker?
No, I didn't see the sticker. I survived the Lime though.
Well, you got to tell them to give you a sticker, man. Did you get pretty burned?
No, I actually didn't get that. I mean, I did get burned, but I thought it was monkey butt because it was right after practice. I'm like, oh my God, I got like such bad monkey butt. So I just changed super quick. And I got some burns and rashes, but it wasn't as bad as other guys. I think mainly because every time I went in between, like after we only had one practice. So after the practice, I changed my gear as soon as I got off the track. After my heat race, I changed my gear, underwear, everything. And then after the main, I changed right away. But I think it was way worse for the guys that had to stay on the same gear for their heat, then their LCQ, and then the main. Like those guys were the guys that were most affected because they just had the stuff on them the whole time, where
Yeah.
I was able to get a fresh set of gear every time.
Yeah, so you got 6th in that mud fest. Do you consider yourself a mud rider? Did you always like the mud, or like?
I mean, the mud's honestly like a lottery kind of for the most part, I think. So yeah, I mean, last year in Seattle it was actually really muddy, but
Yeah.
I qualified good. I qualified like 8th, so it was my best qualifier last year. I think 8th or 9th maybe. So it was like a really good qualifier for me. But then I burnt my clutch on the heat race, and then on the LCQ, so I couldn't make the main. So after that, I wasn't very sure if I was a mud rider or not. And then I think that was the last mud race I ever did. And then living here in Southern California, like, yeah, right now it's been raining a lot. But other than that, it barely ever rains. So we don't really get to practice in the mud ever. So yeah, San Diego was good. I'm always stoked about the rain. I like it when it rains. I like
Oh, nice.
a good mud fest. So yeah, it rained. I qualified 10th, I think, in my group, in the A group. And then I was actually riding really good in the heat race, but had 2 crashes. Still ended up finishing 5th. And then I'm like, okay, just stay up and just jump as much as you can in the main, because I was watching the 450 heat races, and I think it was Eli Tomac versus Plessinger, and Tomac actually jumped, like just doubled and hit the tabletops in one rhythm, and he pulled away like 6 seconds on Plessinger, who made a couple mistakes. So I'm like, okay, the key is to jump as much as you can and not crash.
Just send it.
So yeah, that was my plan. I got a decent start, but then I almost crashed on the second corner. So I couldn't see anything. So I had to put my bike in neutral, come to a dead stop, clean my helmet, clean my goggles, and then start from there. And then I basically, yeah, like I said, I tried not to crash, which I didn't.
It worked.
And I just jumped as much as I can, and then yeah, I finished 6th somehow.
Nice.
That's great. So we got that little strategy of the mud race, but you don't have to tell us this if you don't want to. If it's a big secret, of course, you got to keep it close. But just this year, you look like a whole different rider than what we've seen in the years past. Like, what changed? Like, what's your secret? Like,
yeah, I'm having fun. I think that's it, honestly. It had been stressful the past few years, just like being so stressed over like getting the results I wanted, and like, I don't know, like not qualifying good, like everything, like just pressure during the week and then on the weekend, stuff like that. And then yeah, actually last year after the San Diego round, I stopped having a trainer, so I just started focusing on riding as much as I could. And then yeah, I basically was on my own for the whole year, no trainer, no nothing. Like, to be honest with you, just having fun has changed literally my life.
Good.
Yeah, that's I think that's an important part.
It's been great. I go to races, I obviously want to do good. I train super hard to do good at the races, and I do my very best to be as prepared as I can when the gate drops. But I think the most important thing for me especially is to have fun, because if I show up to the race and I'm riding all tight and like insecure, like I don't ride like myself, I end up going 2 or 3 seconds slower. But then if I show up to the race and just like, okay, let's do my best, let's have fun and see how it goes. And then, yeah, honestly, that's the secret to it.
There it is. Well, yeah, you definitely caught our eye, and not only our eye, you caught the eye of the JMC Motorsports team, which you have transferred mid-season to riding. And we saw you in Atlanta, your first time with the new team on the new bike, and we know that you didn't really get much practice on it and like struggled a little bit in Atlanta with that. But overall, how is it with the new JMC team?
Yeah, the team has been awesome. It was also a last-second thing before Atlanta. I got my practice bike. I started riding on it, and I actually felt really good at the practice tracks out here. And yeah, so we made the call to go race it. And we rode press on Friday. It was my first day riding the race bike, and I actually felt great on it. There was a bunch of top guys riding press, and I felt, up to par. Obviously had to clean a couple of things for race day, but I actually felt really good on the track and on the bike. And yeah, that was the game plan. But unfortunately on Saturday, we had some freak bike problems that we honestly couldn't figure out what it was, and we had to end up calling it a night early. But yeah, like I said, we figured it out, and we're going to be ready for Seattle next weekend.
That's great. Yeah, we did see a lot of bike maintenance happening before, and of course that's got to be so difficult having, not much time to really get used to it. And just switching brands mid-year, that's obviously got to be super difficult. But what are you looking forward to for the end of this season? Do you feel like you're getting things back on the right track?
Yeah, it's going good. Actually, we're going super hard this week with a bunch of riding and also trying to build a good base, because I'm going to try to do the first few outdoors. So, that's the plan, like I said, I want to have fun, but I also definitely want to do good and secure a spot on a equally as good team for next year. At the end of the day, yeah, fun is cool and everything, but results is what gets you on the team.
Yes,
also,
right.
A good thing about the beginning of the season was me getting good starts. So I definitely want to keep getting good starts, riding hard, and then I would like to be in the top 10 as much as I can from now till the end of the season. So that's basically the plan.
Yeah, you're sitting 13th in the points right now in the whole series. So, and you're not too far behind 12th place, and obviously we know anything can happen in this sport. So it looks like you definitely had a great start to this season, and we hope you can, finish as strong or not stronger. Yeah,
thank you. I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, that's the plan. I also believe I can do it. It's just a matter of doing it.
It's funny, we talked about the racetrack Supercross, but also the JMC Jordan, he also does a bunch of filming and does the YouTube video stuff too. So where everyone, no matter where you go, we're getting that behind the scenes look.
Yeah, I'm getting followed by the cameras. Yeah, that's good though. It's definitely a lot more relaxed.
Well, Martin, we want to thank you. Is there anyone you want to thank?
Yeah, just the whole JMC team. They've been great since we started working. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. They have been super kind and helpful, especially coming up with a deal for me halfway through the season, where I talked to probably 90% of the teams out there, and a bunch of them seemed interested at least, but they all said the same thing. We're in the middle of the season. We have no budget or an injured rider, so there's nothing that we can really do. So yeah, these guys put on a deal together for me last second, and yeah, gave me a bike, and yeah, I hope to make the best out of it, pay them back that way.
Well, that was Martin, man. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Great. I like how he's he knew from, grade school that he wanted to be a dirt bike racer or supercross racer and live in Riverside, California. And he's see, at a young age, if you know what you're going to do, then yeah, you can do it.
You just got to focus and just want it as bad as Martin wants it, and you make it happen.
But not many people in grade school, even they have no idea what they want to do. Even high school, they don't know what they want to do. So
yeah.
To have that, that focus and that drive, and then to just work towards it for years and years and years, and then yeah, it's really cool. It's a cool story. Very American story, right? That's the American dream. Right
there you go. By Martín Castelo from Ecuador, bro.
That's right. That's cool. Yeah. So he had great results for the first half of the season. The East-West shootout didn't go as well, having bike problems and being on the new team. But I think we can expect big things from him for the end of the season.
I think so too. We saw him in Atlanta, and we can see. I don't know. I felt like it was a good vibe on that team, and we talked like you mentioned Jordan. Jordan is a really cool guy, and he was just very open with us, and he was actually the one that lined it up with Martin, and we really appreciate it. But yeah, I feel like you said, he's gonna do really good things, and we're gonna see it in a couple of weeks in Seattle.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will. Well, is there anything else we should add to this episode?
Just make sure you guys are following us at MXSX Podcast on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, on MySpace, on Friendstop, on I don't know what else we got out there.
Tinder.
Tinder, yeah.
And you can follow Martín Castelo at mcastello_. And he posts a bunch of stuff on there and lots of race results and recaps and stuff and pictures. So good follow there on Instagram. So make sure you head over there. We'll put his handle in the bio of this episode. And yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in to another episode of the Motocross Supercross podcast.